I decided to uh, grab the Nioh remastered collection, install that shit, and get back in and see what's going on. Uh, I want to
First or
pick
second?
first. I mean, I grabbed both games, but I want to jump back into the first one because I want to pick up where I left off. You know?
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing actually. I just didn't bother to mention it because I'm just replaying the same stuff I played last time.
Yeah. So I know that two is like has all the good shit, and you can jump right in and make your custom character and all that. But I'm just like, I want to continue where I left off. I was enjoying myself, you know. So
The general thing that I got when I was like, hey, should I play Neo 1 or should I just skip to Neo 2 was play through Neo 1 once and then just spend all the remaining time you want as much as you want in Neo 2.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even if it was like, hey, you can skip to two, I'm like, yeah, but I liked what I was doing in one. I was having fun with that. So I, popped it open and yeah, well, step one, of course, was like, oh, fuck, my saves aren't here. Oh, fuck, they're not on the cloud. Shit, what do I do? How do I get this going? And then it's like, okay, so you can use the cloud tool in the game to transfer your saves over, no problem.
Oh, weird.
But what you have to do is when you download the collection, it's going to give you one remastered and two remastered on your PS5. Mm-hmm. You have to then specifically say, no, go download Neo PS4 version. And then it'll download the PS4 version, which will then hide your remastered version from the lineup.
Oh,
right? So it's still installed, but it's hidden. It's hiding the PS5 version. So then you boot the original and you load your save, and then you upload it to the in-game save cloud tool, and then you quit out, and then you uninstall that version, and then your remastered version comes back. You jump in there, you grab your save, no problem, easy peasy, bread and cheesy, and you continue where you left off. That is yeah.
Sony's fault for sure.
It's honestly, it's the same way that like saved cross transfer worked in like Dragon's Crown and things like that. And at least I didn't lose my progress. It was I had to take some extra steps to download the original game and do that, but it's fine. In the end, it just loaded my shit up and we were good to go. Crank that bitch on 4K. Pick it back up, jump into the game, and oh fuck, oh god, oh Jesus, what is happening? How do you even play this again?
That is literally exactly what happened to me, and I restarted.
Okay, so I didn't restart, but I took my time to go back and reread and redo the tutorials and just treat it as if it were starting again, because this is possibly the hardest game to reintegrate into after ditching out that I've ever played. I'm trying to think of a worst case.
Pretty vicious.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a worst case, and this might be the top. And just going over your lessons, for example, or your the stuff in the dojo where you want to reacquaint with how everything works, is you're looking at descriptors for things, and they've translated everything so literally that like you don't have a single English word to help you out when you're looking at like Way of the Omyo Zara Ken, or something like that, and you're like, what's that one as opposed to Way of the Omyo like Kufu or whatever that one is. Like it's Way of the Weeaboo and it just has like things like that just lined up, and I'm like, okay, right? And you go back in and you're like, okay, yes, here's my weapon, this was my stances, I forget which ones I particularly like the moves on, but you're getting back used to that. And then it's like, okay, wait, now go to your skills, remember what skills you bought. And then when you buy which one you equipped for which weapon,
which button in which stance.
Yeah. Which stance, which weapon, which button, right? And you're like, oh my god, that's true. Each weapon had its own special equipped ability to each button that you have to fucking go back in and take a look at. And I'm like, all right, I did unlock quite a few of them with the Kusarigama, so I'm going back to see what I set there. And then you're like, okay, now in the meantime, what boons did you give yourself when you were at the Kodama shrine, so that you can, get a little buff here or there, or like go in with your kunai prepared with your ninjutsu skills and things like that, right? And I'm like, oh man, right? There's all of that. Um, and then I just went through the tutorial again to get it all down, and hit a weird problem on the end of the basic tutorial. If you're too strong and you kill the demon in one hit when it's trying to teach you about purification, the tutorial never ends because the fight never starts. So,
oh, fucking whoops.
C-class bug on that. The tutorial doesn't function properly if you are too strong when you go back to it. But anyway, I think if you unequip, I had to unequip everything and do like a really weak kick to kind of get the fight to start. Anyway, so then you go back and you look at your, so there's the skills, then there's the, you just get to your equipment, and the thing you were talking about, yes, you just hit that wall of like, oh my god.
Why was I wearing this?
Yeah, and then so you go back and you're looking at each one and you're reading each stat on it, and you're like, yeah, okay, I liked this, and I fused it with that to create this, and I'm reverse engineering all my steps to figure out why I was wearing what I was wearing. And then at some point I'm just like, look, man, everything that's not purple, just sell it. Just break it down for materials.
Just offer it up, or disassemble it, or sell it, or whatever. Just get it out of here. Get it out of my fucking inventory.
You do that with your weapons. You do that with your equipment. And then you're like, okay, now it's time to go look at your prestige Omio points and
oh my god,
ooh something points. And those are for like completing mini achievements in the game. And
yeah, that's your titles.
Yes, and those things are those titles exactly now are going to unlock you choose one of 4 specific buffs, and then like like it's just so much. There's just so much that they're throwing at you.
It is like so that's like, I can understand. I saw people talking about like what the advice was, like some people said play Nioh 1 once and then play Nioh 2 until you're done. I'm like, what does that mean? And like, well, I put like 2,000 hours into Nioh 2 because like all of that shit and increasing like post game difficulties means that it turns into like action Diablo. Like it stops being Souls and starts being action Diablo, and so that's all great. But man, like the situation you are describing is very real, and it's just it is like the setup screen legitimately has more going on than Monster Hunter does.
Right. Yeah. I mean, dude, like at a point, I remember I was like running around with my fucking animal buff, and I was like, wait, right, your animal buff. And then I go to the menu for it, and I'm like, which one did I have equipped? And like each, whether you pick the earth fire, water, or lightning, like you're like, these are all changing like maybe 10 specific little percentages, and it's not like, oh, this one will, and like they're all, they have their particular uses, so you just, you have to like pay attention to like what specific little thing of these things you care the most about. What there was more customization to be had, right, with the spirits, and then there's the actual, just the basic leveling, which is a whole other thing. Or dexterity is like mainly affecting Kusarigama, so I like that, so I'm going to put that stat up. But then,
right.
other weapons are attributed to other stats that otherwise is not 100% Souls like, so don't fall for that trap. And you just,
and then you finally spent the 3 hours it is to make sure you know how your character continues to live, and then you go okay, and you click yes on the stage, and then you walk forward and just die instantly because the
Opposite.
game is vicious.
I
Oh, you
bu-
had the opposite issue?
I had the opposite issue. Like right before I left the game, wherever I left off, I had built myself some good shit. And I had
Oh, you're
amazing
lucky.
armor and amazing weapons and amazing buffs and amazing passive abilities. So I walked forward and just dominated the level, no problem. And I was doing things where I was like, I don't even remember this ability, but like I had a thing on where I would do like a Kusarigama combo or like a hammer axe combo. And then instead of key pulsing, I would dodge out of the way, but the dodge acts as a key pulse.
Yeah.
And I was like, did I put something on that key pulses when I dodge?
Literally the best ability in the entire game.
You know? And I was like, I don't remember putting that on, but I guess I did because this is amazing. You know? And then you're like, all right, I got my bow and arrow, I got my gun. We're taking shots. What did I want to put? Like, it just, yeah, I just, whatever the state I left myself from the past in was a very, very good one. So I went in and crushed the next couple levels with fairly low trouble. And I'm gonna go do the Twilight missions that appear. I got to do some of those to like.
Those are bullshit.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, those are the super bullshit ones. You know. But anyway, like I by the end of it, it was like I'm like, okay, I remember now that there was a lot of things that I deliberately chose to ignore. I remember that I mentally put my efforts into caring about some basic things with damage, how much I do and how much I take, and how much ki I'm using and how much I'm conserving, and then what basic moveset things I wanted. But I'm like, look, I'm not throwing out kunai all the time. I don't care about my Omyo ninjutsu preparing 7 kunai. Like, it's not going to do anything for me, right? And I'm also rarely using my big pupper animal buddy.
Yeah.
And I know I probably should because it's a nice big buff, but it's so temporary.
And you gain the meter back much more quickly.
And you gain the meter back,
would.
so I should be using it. But right now, like, the things I'm fighting, I'm killing without needing it. So I'm just like, all right, you know, let me just go back to focusing on the damage you do, the damage you take, and how much stamina you have. You know, and then we'll work it from there. I started glancing at the glamour for a second, and I'm like, fuck off. Like, that's another couple hours of my life glamoring everything to be the way I want, but I will get back to it. It's great game, still fucking phenomenal.
Nioh 2 has like apparently like a full, like as you would expect, a full sequels amount of shit just thrown on top of all of that shit. Like, for example, Living Weapon is completely replaced by what is essentially Devil Trigger, but they are completely unique, like mechanically controllable fucking monsters.
Sick. That's cool.
And they also have a mechanic where it's, God, what button was it? I forget what the button was, but you have your fucking demon form come out to do what is this? Was a counter hit. So when enemies do like a big red unblockable hit, you throw out your counter hit move and it knocks them on their ass.
Okay.
And it's just, there's so much in that game.
I mean, dude, like, I also remembering the like how you can be stamina starved so often, because if you swing and then they counterattack, you're now empty on stamina.
You're at 0.
You're like, you literally like that, like the enemy blocking and then hitting you leaves you at 0 stamina, which leaves you exhausted and standing there waiting to take damage. So I was like, right, all of that shit. And then you can summon people to fight, but then there's people who just get auto summoned when you walk up to them and it goes and they just come jumping out at you. You know, like, just, and like, the duel missions where you get like a 1-on-1, you know.
Those are vicious shit.
Fucking vicious, but great. So much fun. I remember, like, I'm getting back to the things I loved about it, and it is the thing that's probably the most impenetrable of all of those things I'm mentioning is just how, like, unapologetically Japanese the script remains even in English.
It's like your omnio techniques, your omnio magic. Like, what's a omnio?
Yeah,
Nowhere.
like
The game literally has no description for what the word omnio means.
like even like the little side missions where it's like this person had to go get this object that's a ancient Japanese treasure of some kind to give to this person, and it just won't explain what those things are, or
Yeah,
like,
it's like every noun in this sentence is a word I don't understand, and it's like maybe it's like give me a little context, please, just a little bit. Though that being said, I don't know if you remember because you're probably way past this part because you got farther. You got like way farther than me.
I
But
doubt it.
that is appropriate considering William, and they're like, "Can we not call you William, please? Can we please call you like Anji-san because we can't pronounce William because you're a foreigner?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess." And it's like, "Yeah, no, you're a stranger in a strange land. You don't understand shit."
Also, it's like here's the haircuts and beards you can unlock to customize your William. So if you wanna,
Which is the predecessor to. You want to just make Majima?
I mean, I'm
You
like,
want to
okay,
just make your favorite Kamen Rider actor?
I'ma just make him the bearded ponytailed guy, because I guess he still has to be the Neo man. So that is what
And
it
also,
is.
he's in the second game as that bearded ponytail man.
Yay, yay.
I have it on good authority that I'm pretty sure you can fight him in the second game,
Cool.
which makes that game great.
Uh I have to. I mean, hard to say until it's done, but from the jump, they probably should have made it custom character from Neo 1. Like, it probably should have been
Yeah,
custom character from day one. Overall,
there's a lot of good. It's a really good custom character too.
like especially since you're like fighting other people's like ghost memories, and there's a indirect multiplayer and then direct multiplayer thing going on. It would have been better to just be like full on custom character. So, but yeah, it despite all that obtuseness, at the end of the day, the game that you're playing itself is very fun, and the it remains as tight as ever. It's fast when you want to sprint across the map. It's like you're not. There, you don't have to fall into Soul's habits in a way. Like you can just blitz to places and do things really really quickly if you want to.
We got the Dark Souls series, and we had a lot of games take their shot, and like most of them were dismal failures, and there were a couple mediocre ones, but like Nioh is legitimately the only good ones. Like this is good, and it's enough of its own thing.
It's doing its own thing
that,
in a lot of
like
ways.
the inspiration is very obvious, but like yes, I would gladly see more Nioh in the future.
Like it's kind of every time you complete the objective, and it's like, hey man, you want to just dip, and it's like, no, let me go get my shit. I'm out here. I did it. I cleared it. Let me take my time. But like, if you want to just book it through these objectives, you can fucking do it. And just like speed run everything almost. Like it goes so quickly if you want it to.
I like if I had to change like literally one single thing in Nioh, like in general for a third game, it would be the stage structure.
Jumping in and out of the same areas in different remixed ways.
Like I want just give me a fucking real proper map. Like one map. Like I love that shit.
I do too. The benefit of this approach is that like you can get your initial stage layout and then your Scholar of the First Sin layout and then your Bonfire Ascetic layout immediately.
Like really immediately too, yeah. Like just one after the other.
The variety of the area is like you get to maximize that. So there's pros and cons. You know. I
Whoa, okay. I just saw somebody say that Team Ninja says they want Neo 3 to be open world and possibly in China. That would be cool.
damn. That's drastic. Okay. Yeah. It's it would the open worldness is also something though where like in a game like this you kind of do need to like fucking get back to that blacksmith and spend a while sorting through all that stuff. Like you would be sitting at shrines forever. Um and there's times when like I want, well, unless you can teleport between one shrine and another and kind of
Yeah.
it could be done, yeah, there's ways of making it do both, but in any case, great remaster. I don't know about you, but I between the options of like high FPS and 4K, I prefer 4K.
Well, because the high FPS is 120 ish
Mm-hmm.
and the 4K is 60. And it's like, it's a solid 60.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll take, yeah.
That's the way.
Give me that.
That's the way to go. Yeah, for sure. So that's Nioh 1, and
It's good.